1 minute. Finishing up some paperwork. How is everybody? We had a better week than I had. I had a rough one. We'll get into it in just a second. But I am sitting here with some broke ribs, re-broke ribs. A little hard to breathe. I don't know if you had time to catch my 2 recent shorts I just put out, but this YouTube thing is getting out of control. We have misinformation, defamation cases, false reports. Like, this is getting wild. People are accusing me of using AI to do one of the recent shorts, which is the one where Buckin says that I'm the guy that told him to start wearing suspenders, and that it like basically changed his whole climbing. And in the video he says that I had to bark at him for a long time to get him to do it. But you can kind of see that even at that point, he maybe doesn't want to give me the credit. He wants to give it to his son. So he says Steelborn and Hogan. Yeah, I don't know about all that. I know it was me. And maybe just like some of the other things he's starting to fix, he didn't really want to listen to me. But when his boy said it to him, he was a little more likely to take the criticism, I would say. So I haven't developed supersonic vision. So I'm going to have to move you guys up like normal. This is at episode, what are we on? 83? Episode 83, I think. Yeah. Episode 83. Let me move you guys forward a little bit. Ow, ow, ow. Oh. Damn, even lifting that hurts. That sucks. But I can't. I'm not letting it stop me. So I'm still a little off. Let me move you guys a little closer. Sorry. So I didn't develop supervision, but apparently maybe it got a little worse. So now I literally need you guys here, and I'm probably gonna look into the camera cross-eyed. But that's just. What up, Dano? Dan K's here. What's up, Dan? What's up, Dan's? Jeremiah, what's up? I think that was on accident, Jeremiah. I think the dude accidentally threw it over 2 branches. Yeah, that guy's out of control. Starting rumors like that, not cool. Not cool. But we'll get into it. So I had a really fat sweet gum tree that I just, oh, let me show you this too. This is something I just showed in a recent, well, if you're not one of the members, you didn't see it. But this is something I showed in a recent video. Such a handy tool to have. I use it so much, like, and it pulls me out of a pinch so often. So, yeah. We literally have the, like, I don't know, like a crew of complete badasses that are part of the members. Let me shout all my members out, because all these guys here have been deputized. They can, at any point, they can ticket you, give you a citation. If they feel like that they can shoot. I tell them shoot first. But all these are deputies, so watch your P's and Q's, you know, and just respect the badge. So we have In the Trees, William Moxie, Low Impact Forestry, Ground Pounder, J306, Super Shay, 5 Chris Beckett, James R, Bucky S. Alls, and Buckley. Yeah, so just so you know, that's like, if I was putting together a list of who's cool, who isn't, that would be the cool list. Who all do we have as of right now? Really cool little impact forestry. Yeah, you have. I mean, dude. Yeah. I'm writing tickets no matter what. No, you can't. You can't. We don't have any. Dude, there's no women on the. I don't even see how that's possible. We don't have any women on, like, at the precinct. So how are you writing tickets? We can't. You can't. There's child labor laws. You can't, like, employ like a little kid or not. Like, so I don't know. That's impersonating an officer. You're gonna get yourself in trouble. So I have this thing. It broke. So right here, before we get started, I'm just gonna throw a little glue on here and see if I can get it to maybe not be completely screwed. So JB welded it originally, and that finally broke. My bad. I probably should have done this beforehand, but I have very little respect for anyone and their time. I don't even respect myself. So yeah, that's where we're at. So what would be really sweet is if that thing just glued together all nice and it worked again. We'll see here in a little bit how it held up. Should be able. What? It's not even going to stay on there. Hang on a second. We didn't have it lined up right. I don't know. It is not going to stay at all. I kind of got to keep it straight up and down or it's going to want to. Does that not look sideways? Maybe I'm getting all lazy, like a cockeye or something to me. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I'll just keep dumping glue on it until it sticks. I bought all the glues. Elmer's glue. And I figure what I don't use, I can eat. Oh, God, that hurt. Ugh. Mainly off grid. How are you? Oh, what's up, Chris? How you doing, brother? Look at Squirrely John, too. Oh, snap. Alright, so we start this out. Oh, so yeah, my ribs are all messed up. I using the 362, ended up getting the bar pinched, and for anyone who's followed the channel for a while, I had, you know, that accident a while back, years ago, and my ribs are still all messed up from it. Well, as I held the saw, it yanked me over a limb, which crushed my ribs into it, and I got my saw out, but then my ribs popped again, and when they popped, like, I almost let go of the saw, which is crazy, but like, got it out of the cut as the piece went, and then my ribs made this pop, like, it was loud enough I could hear it, and I almost let go of the saw. I knew something was wrong, so, you know, I guess it's just the price, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to complain about it. It is what it is, but, yeah, I'm a little short of breath, and, a little irritable. Kind of sucks to stay in one position too often. I think bending over like this and crushing my ribs down, because it's my floating rib and the two above, that's giving me issues. Alright, PSAs for this week. We start out every episode with a PSA. What's going on this week? You know, what's the public service announcement? I mean, it tends to be very similar. Stop being a sissy is what we're going to start with this week. Sometimes there's not a machine to do the task that you need to do. And it's unreal to me how many guys, and how the industry is like, if you don't have the machine, you can't do it. Or if you don't have the machine, you start breaking all kinds of crazy rules. Like, we're going to get into it as we go here, but stop being a sissy. Sometimes the task requires you to pull your panties up, buckle your belt real tight, and do actual work. So, suck it up, Pudding Cup. You're being blockbuster. Alright? Second PSA. When guys feel the need to tell you the rules, mainly because they want to let you know that they know the rule, and then they explain to you how they're about to break the rule and why it's okay for them to break said rule or regulation. That stuff, I'll never understand. Just shut up and do what you're supposed to do. Don't tell me the rule, and then break the rule, and then try to justify it. We're just moving the goalpost, aren't we? I can't stand when people do that, but that happens a lot. We're going to get into it, but come on. Third, tree YouTubers have the biggest, fattest heads. And they just don't know how to be humble anymore. You're not a superhero. You're just doing your job. So, unless your job requires you to put a cape on and you rescue people every day, you're not a super. Even when you rescue, like, I'm not even getting into details. You're not a superhero. Don't walk around with your nose in the air so much. You're not that special. Like, even if you are special on YouTube, when you put your phone down, you're just normal again. So let's try to be a little more humble. Fourth, for dear God, stop hating and talking trash about the guy next to you. For no reason. Other than like his success makes you feel insecure. So unless, because you can't, okay, you can't just go buy a badge that says sheriff. So I get to do this, okay? I have deputies. They can do this. But like, we're just upholding what's right. We're not talking trash. We're not, hating. Facts are facts. So I'm gonna let you in on a few things. I'm getting statements, emails from guys just hating on other guys because they hate that the guy's successful. And I'm dumbfounded. It makes you come off as being super insecure when you just blindly hate a person because maybe you don't agree with everything they do, or their success makes you feel even more insecure. So you just blindly hate this person because of it. That kind of stuff I can't relate to. I don't get it. The fact of it is, a confident, secure man compares himself to no other man. He just does what he knows he's supposed to do to the best of his ability. But, I mean, whether it's how you make your video, well, these other YouTubers do this, so I gotta do this. The things you talk about, the way you word things, like, for God's sake, someone's got to be original, or none of us are going to get any views. Let's just be real, okay? There's the PSAs for this week. That's it. I feel like I could go on for an hour talking about... I have so many more. That's it for this week. Let's get into the violations, the citations, and in one case, the possible, like the absolute, not possible, the fact that this will be instant imprisonment and possible lethal injection. So it's ridiculous. First one. Let me catch a couple comments real quick before I go straight into just blinder mode where it's just nothing but ridiculousness. What's up, tree guy? What are these guys climbing nowadays? I can't even tie a friction. Yeah. Hey, there's so many. That's because they see something, and instead of doing it right and learning the proper steps along the way, they skip all these steps because they want to be at this point. They want to go straight to the device. They want to go straight SRT. They want to look like the guy that they watch, and they want to emulate, repeat, and duplicate. They just want to be a replica of what they see. No, thank you, no, thank you. I don't even care if you like me. Don't subscribe to my channel. First of all, I don't want you to, unless it's like you feel like you can handle it. Most people can't handle watching this content. So, I don't care if you like me or not. I'm still going to point out complete hypocrisies, stupid things you do, and try my best to stop this TikToker mentality from coming over into YouTube tree world. Stop the, I'm as soft as a fresh batch of cookies kind of shit. Like, I can't do it. It's like, there's few things left where it's okay to be a man. You don't gotta be so sensitive. And like the tree industry and us guys here and women, um, that doesn't exclude women even, but like it doesn't need to be so sensitive. There's too many sensitive people already. And they have things, they have groups and places where they're going to be. Stay there. Don't come here. Leave me alone. I'm going to do what I'm going to do whether you like it or not. And, yeah, I don't really care who does it. Because I'm not making friends doing this. And I don't care. So, first violation. First channel. I have to stop this dog because I'm just going to go outside and draw my firearm and shoot him. But it costs a lot of money to train these drug sniffing dogs, and I hate to just shoot him for no reason. Inside, now, let's go. Jeez, that dude is crazy. He sees something, he fixates. Alright, first channel is Gabe of Trees. So, my issue with this one, it started last week. Okay, so my chat is froze. I just left to give it a second, and it's not moving. I may need to set up to this. I'm gonna try to back out and go back into it. Let's see if I think I may have just lost the chat altogether now. Let me try one more time. Well, I don't know what's up with it. Okay, well, it says I'm live. I'm just going with it. It's not the first time YouTube has totally screwed me as far as leaving my chat up. I feel like this happens every other time we do this. So, well, it'll be just like talking to myself. And I love talking to myself. I'm good. I'm good conversation. Is it? Right. Okay. All right. So I got my deputy. Phoned me, sent me a couple minutes. We're good. Let's do this. Game of Trees. The video this week was called, "Is Trespassing on an Unposted Property a Problem?" Now, for a second, ask yourself that question. First, while you're asking yourself that question, I'm going to cite him for being a complete tool. For being an entitled asshole. Who asked a question like that? Is trespassing on an unposted property a problem? Listen, dude. Listen. Trespassing on something that's not yours is definitely a problem. The fact that you need to ask yourself that question, and when I read the title, I instantly was like, oh, this asshole did something wrong, and he's about to gaslight his way into saying what he done was okay. And I'm like, this. So let's go. The video starts, he's in a backyard. A tree has been cut down and processed. And apparently, at one point, they are... I kind of want to give you guys a little bit of a visual so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's do this. They have a house that they're working at. Let's say that house is here, okay? Now, the tree, this is the front yard, their tree, they took the tree down, it's laying here, all over the place, down here on the ground, in the backyard. Okay? So we see that. Now, right here is the neighbor's yard and house. Okay? There's nowhere to get through here apparently. Or there is or something, but there's a little like walkway and a little retaining wall right here that they would have to go up to go through here. So they see that there's public access right over here. So they go over and knock on this guy's door. I mean, none of this is shown, but I'm taking for granted this is what they did. They go over here and they knock on his door, okay? So they're working right out here. This is where they're parked. They want to drive over here, go here, and bring stuff across. They knock, no answer. They ask him, do you have the phone number for this guy? No, no one does. So, what do you do in that case? Well, if you're an asshole, and you don't care about other people, and you feel entitled, you'll just put some mats down here, and use this guy's yard, because you want to. Not because this guy said, sure, you can use my yard. You just do it because you want to. Don't make a whole lot of sense to me. Now, a little longer, like a little bit more, as we go on this story, I question if anyone ever went over here and asked this man. He apparently knew that this guy doesn't live here. So this is a lake or something out here. This is a lake house. This guy, I think, told him this guy doesn't live there all the time. You know, he says this is his lake house. He's not there, usually. So, when you hear that this guy's not here often, you take for granted it's okay to follow your shit over into his yard. You think it's okay for you to use his backyard to get your stuff over here. Not because this is shorter distance, but because you may have to manually do some work if you take it up this way or this way. So, because you refuse to do anything, that goes back to our PSA for the week. Stop being a sissy and know that there's not always a machine that's going to do your job for you for every single situation. You make a decision, I'm using this guy's yard. Because, why? Because you want to. Because it makes your job easier. Not because he gave you permission. Not because you've contacted him and got the okay. Because what you do is more important. And what you want is more important than respecting another person's personal property. So you think, well, I put mats down to drive the machine across. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Okay? So, he says, we went over there, we asked, or went over there to ask, no one answered. So he tells us that this guy doesn't live there, he lives somewhere else, this is his lake house, so they use the backyard. Well, apparently, that neighbor has a Ring doorbell camera and sees them on the Ring camera using his backyard without permission. So here's what I would say, and that's it. Now, if he's seen you on the Ring doorbell camera, then he probably has one. So if you went over and knocked on the door, you may have been able to look into the Ring camera and be like, sir, we was wanting to know if we put down a bunch of mats, if there's any way we can act. Even if he doesn't see it right that second, he goes back and sees it and leave your phone number, and maybe the guy calls you, contacts you. Because you didn't do that. You took for granted he's not there, and he's not normally going to be here. I'm using his backyard. So, the neighbor realizes this when he sees it on his Ring camera and gets pissed off, which I would too. And jumps in his car lives in a separate state, drives nonstop all the way to this lake house. They aren't there at that time. So he then finds the location and an address to their depot, drives to their office, goes in. He's very pissed, tells them to stay off his damn property, stop trespassing. So, Kevin in this situation, which is, he's the guy, Game of Trees, you know, he's the guy that runs the whole show. So he's telling this story, and here's how he tells it. The guy got all mad, come down, was very rude to my receptionist, and was angry, and didn't want us using his property, and he's like, so, I mean, but he doesn't have it posted that no one can trespass. So by law, in blah, 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 this is what he's telling me in the comment section. Because I'm like, my morals, my respect for other people, would keep me from going through that yard if I didn't have permission. His way of justifying it is, according to our state, he's such a book nerd. Like, dude, you're a dork. According to state law, if said property is not posted, you are not trespassing. You have to physically be trespassing. So, you want to know why he got all offended that the guy didn't just call you and tell you not to use his yard? Well, good thing he drove there, because I checked into all this. I don't do property disputes, but according to the law, you have to physically trespass someone. Tell them, do not go back on my property. Then they can be in trouble for trespassing. But if you haven't trespassed them and told them to stay off the property, by law, they can get away with it and get their first warning. So, I'm glad that the guy came down there and did what he did. Because if he didn't, and he just called and said, don't, I think you're enough of a dick that you would have said, he didn't physically do it, so I'm going to use his yard because it makes my job easy. So, he puts all this onto the neighbor. That neighbor's being mean. He won't give us access. They start calling, like, okay. So he trespassed on the neighbor's property to make his job easier. The title of the video and the question that he asked tells me a lot about him. Let me remind you, the title is trespassing on an unposted property a problem? If you're an entitled asshole, no, not at all. So, use the neighbor's backyard for access to a public access spot so they can load, so they can use a machine to do everything. He tries to get permission, couldn't contact it, decided to use the property without permission. He drops the tree and processed it so there's debris into the neighbor's yard. Drove the machine through the yard the whole first day. And then homeowner, sees it on door ring bell cam, drives multiple hours to get there, like 3 to 4 hours to get there, and tells him not to trespass on the property. So the video starts, and him and his crew are making fun of this guy. The homeowner that won't allow him to just use his property because it's his, and he gets that decision. I don't really care how big of a tantrum you throw or what your state laws are. My ethics and morals don't change according to what state I'm in. Maybe yours do. Mine don't. So he's making fun of the guy. He says, I'm going to leave the brush on that guy's property, the stuff that's over the property line, because the guy won't contact them back and tell them it's okay to grab that brush. He's like, we've been told to stay off the property. You're such a snarky titty baby that, you're just throwing your little hissy fit. Like, I don't understand it. You're a grown-ass man. Suck it up. This is the problem. You are so not used to being told no that you throw a tantrum when someone tells you no. And you're entitled and you're spoiled as hell. So he just kind of thinks he can do what he wants because there's not a no trespassing sign posted. And, he wants to. So he gets spiteful and mad and says, I'm not cleaning that guy's brush up. Because he's like, he won't contact us back to tell me that it's okay to step over. It is literally, you could reach and grab it and drag it over. But what he's going to do is he's going to cut down the property line and leave it over just to prove a point that he's a complete dick. And a titty baby. Like, he's so immature, he's going to show this dude, I can be way more immature than you. Because I got to use your property, and I'm going to leave it a mess. Where do you get this mentality that you think that's okay for you to do this kind of shit? So, no sign, so I can trespass if I want. So, he argues with me in the comments about his state laws and how you can, manipulate them to work for you. Here's the thing. The dude thinks he can make any mistake he wants, damage people's property, trespass if he wants, and he thinks people should just deal with it and accept it because he'll buy them a gift card to have dinner somewhere. There's what kind of asshole you're dealing with. I got money and I throw money at everything. The money will make you shut up. He has this saying that he likes, he makes people happy that he made a mistake. What kind of narcissistic shit is that, dude? How twisted is your brain to think you made a mistake with someone's stuff or property and you're going to make them enjoy your mistake? That's never going to happen. But he thinks he can buy everything. He can buy anything. So I'm going to throw a gift card at you, and you're going to deal with it, and you're actually going to like that I treated you like shit because I bought you dinner. Okay? So we know what kind of guy we're dealing with here, right? So I'm going to get you a gift card, probably to a restaurant that you don't want to eat at, and you're going to like that I did what I did. So he didn't want to manually do any of the work, okay? They start making fun of this guy, and they call him Tantrum Timmy, which is crazy. And he's like, so Tim, if you ever watch this video, your name from now on will be Tantrum Timmy. He's saying this after stating that he's going to leave brush and cut down the property line. Dude, who's the bigger, baby? I say it's you 100%. 1,000% I say it's you. But hey, I'm just the sheriff. Yeah, you know what? My opinion matters more. So yeah, you're the baby. You're the baby. So you're entitled, you're spoiled, you're a dickhead, you're a sissy, and you're vindictive. Dude, there's not always machine access. So you may have to do something and put your big boy pants on and be a man every once in a while. On rare occasions. So I want to end this. You take your violation for trespassing. Take your violation for being a dick. Property damage. And I want to end it by saying he could have went about this all a different way. So not only was he very vindictive and immature with the whole way he approached all of it, he also spent his time arguing with me in the comment section about how it was okay for him to be a vindictive baby, which blows my mind. So if you want to see that, you go over and check the comment section, watch the video. I would not, me and you would not be friends because you don't respect other people. And that don't work for me. I demand respect. So, like, I'm not the city boy that's just like, yeah, I'm not getting into it. Like, I don't think we would get along if that's the way you treat people. So, he should take pride in the fact at the end of the day, he did come up with a plan to get that stuff out of that tricky situation. He put down ramps. They still used a mini skid or a dingo or whatever the hell you want to call it, and got the stuff out. They put ramps up the stairs that were there. They made it work. He should have took pride in the fact that he was able to come up with a plan to get that done, despite the fact that the neighbor didn't want to allow you to use their property. But that's not what he does. He's not celebrating the fact that they got something done when it was it's more difficult than it should have been. That's where he should have focused his time on. But no, his whole video is focused on how that guy's mean because he didn't let me do what I wanted to do with his property. So, grow up. Grow up, man. That's, I don't know. But yeah, that's Game of Trees. Go check out that video. Is it a problem to trespass on unposted property? Yikes. Next channel, Bert's Custom Cuts. The video is called Back for More Monster Maple. He also put out another video, new firewood cutting rack, where he shows his old rack, builds another rack, kind of goes through that whole thing. I just want to say, Bert is a hard-working dude. You can just see the guy is not afraid of hard work. Seems like a good, honorable person. A guy that I would legitimately respect. That I would like to shake a guy's hand like that. Bert seems like my kind of guy. Works his ass off. Doesn't complain. Not always looking for the easy way out. Especially when the easy way out involves doing someone else wrong. That's just, I'm not with that. So, go check out Bert's channel. That's Bert's Custom Cuts. So let's move on to the next channel. And that channel is, I'm liking what my guy here's been doing. The channel is called In the Trees. In the Trees is a deputy. He is one of my guys. And not only is he a deputy, so you get extra cool points because of that. Been putting out awesome content here lately. So his video for this week was Round Ground Gang Cuts a Tree Down. Love the title. Same thing with Bert's Custom. Love the titles. There's rules here. When you put together a video, you get a singular sentence. You don't get multiple sentences. You don't get to type out a damn paragraph for a title. A title is a singular sentence. Make it work. These guys have put 6 titles. Trash. I don't like it. So, In the Trees puts out Round Ground Gang cuts a tree down. In the video, he's taking down a cottonwood tree. It needs to be pulled over. It's got some back weight, and they have to work some rope angles and make some floating redirects, and just to get the proper angle to get this tree to come over. There was nothing real good to anchor to, and that gets tricky at times when you don't have something to anchor to pull from that gives you the proper and the right angle to do it from. He explains the 3 kinds of guys who, there's 3 types of guys that cut trees. Definitely, I back that 100%. He explains that. I want you to go watch his video to see it. But they're they're working their rope angles, which is super important. When you're doing a setup like that, a lot of times you need some creativity to you. You can't just settle for that's pulling kind of in the right direction. It'll work. It'll work is never the way you want to go about any of this. So he thought, creatively and come up with a pretty nice setup with the with the correct angles on the pull, the ropes, the redirects. He also so he goes through the steps that you would do to get this tree down, step by step, which is perfect. He even includes the rarely known chainsaw carving to show respect to the Native Americans. That part's in there, so I mean, very few men know about that. So check him out though, real good channel. I've always liked his videos. So that's In the Trees. Go give him some watch time. Leave him a comment. Like his video. And if you do like the videos, there's a subscribe button. I'm sure he likes getting new subscribers. I don't. Don't. Stay away. Alright, so next channel. Tree Climber Harry. Harry's video this week was starting a big tree at 2 o'clock. I gotta write him at least a warning, because I absolutely hate watching Instagram footage on YouTube. And then I'm seeing like some guys are starting to change the ratio that they record in. Stop. My screen is a certain width. Fill it. Like, stop giving me this much of a screen that's lame. Don't do that. And I don't want to watch your Instagram footage. If I wanted to watch your Instagram footage, I'll go to Instagram and watch it. So, no. I don't like that. It's Blockbuster. Just like before. But damn, this dude climbs some tall ass trees to the point that like even his small, like skinnier trees are so damn tall that it just looks ridiculous at times. So I believe Harry's from, it's either New Zealand or Australia. It's over there. They do those mountain ash, eucalyptus. They're gnarly. Go check them out. Another guy that's over there in Australia that I like is Steel Mad. That's another real good one. He don't really put out videos anymore. I wish he would though. But yeah, that's all I really got for Harry. Don't put no more IG footage. I don't want to see that. And fix your camera like 16 by 9, okay? 16 by 9. I don't want to see like this 4 by 6 kind of. I don't like it. Next channel, Zach Riggs. That is previously known as Zacchaeus. So the video is called Saturday Side Work, Making Money in the Trees. Now it's kind of a sentence. I'm gonna let him pass here. It's like sometimes you see the state patrol. He's sitting on the side of the road, and you go by him. You don't really see him till you're already passing him, and like you know you were speeding, but he lets you go because you weren't speeding that much. That's what we're doing here. So we're gonna let Zach right on by. In this video, he rents a lift. So here's something I just recently had to deal with, and he talks about it in this video. So he rents a lift, and right before he gets to operating the lift, he explains that he's not going to be using a, what do they call that? Dorsal attachment. So the fall arrest dorsal attachment where it actually hooks to your back. Now, I've had more times than I can count on both hands where I've been up in a lift and said lift alarms go off, it becomes unbalanced, it runs out of battery, a wire gets shorted, it just totally shuts down, breaks. Like, there's so many ways that these lifts can mess up. And I've also been stuck up in the top of them before for hours before someone finally came there and threw a throw ball up to me so that then I could pull a climb line up and get down. Also, when that happened, I don't even think at that point, I don't think I was even wearing a saddle. That was so long ago. But from that point on, I've never went into a lift without wearing my climbing saddle fully. You know, suspenders, everything. So they say the reason for the dorsal thing is a normal saddle when you fall, and if you go upside down, you can slip out of that. I don't see that happen, especially if you're wearing suspenders, but whatever. But I can also say, if I needed to get down, you can't get down on a dorsal attachment. It's on your back. So if you needed to get down out of that tree, you can't. If you needed to access the tree from the bucket, whether it's that it starts to break, it shuts down, or the bucket's not tall enough, so you have to access the tree by climbing, you can't. You're wearing a dolphin on your back. I think. I don't even know why they call it dorsal, but yeah, you got a dolphin on your back. So you can't even, like, it's not water, right? So he explains why he's wearing his normal saddle is because if an accident was to happen, he would have to self-rescue, which is get himself down out of that bucket in the case of an emergency. I back that 100%. I think the standards need to be looked at somewhat, and I don't agree with the dorsal attachment. I agree that it's maybe better to catch a guy as he falls, but he's then dangling and can't move. It's on a system that you can't be lowered or anything. You're just dangling. So I don't know. I've just this week, this is like the first time I've even been in a lift in years. I get in one, and sure as shit, get it extended out, and they didn't. It was on some loose kind of ground, that had bobcat run over it a bunch of times. They set the legs down, and they didn't lift the lift off the ground enough. The tires were still touching too much. So as I got the lift extended up, and I jibbed out and telescopic, and I bounced one time far out from the legs, it offset it. The tires were touching, and it rocked itself, which set an alarm off and made the whole machine useless. Couldn't work. I was over a highway, hanging over a highway by some electric wires, and like directly over a residential wire, and I had to climb down out of it and lower myself into the middle of the road. So that, like I said, that's happened to me at least more than 10 times. So I wear my climbing saddle. I always wear my suspenders. I taught Buck and Billy Ray to wear suspenders. I don't care if he now is starting to change his story and say his son did. The YouTube short that you guys watched was actually Bucket. I didn't pay him to do that. That was from 4 years ago. And there are multiple videos of him saying thank you and telling me that I'm the reason he wears suspenders. And that I had to basically hammer it over his head repeatedly for like a year or so before he would actually listen and try it. So, yeah. Zach says, I'm wearing my normal climbing saddle because I may have to self-rescue. He has a couple different jobs for this day. One's a big top that's hanging up in it, and it was cool to see. I think me and Zach are probably very similar with the way that we process a problem. And like, I was trying to think ahead of him as he was doing this, and he did everything exactly like I would have done it. It's really crazy. normally when I'm watching a video, because you don't have a whole bunch of context, what you would do and what the guy you're watching does, often different. But it was kind of cool to be like, everything I would have done, he then did. And I was like, this is sick. So, he did his thing, went ahead and got that big top that was like hanging, got it down, roped it down himself. He talks about the Bill Jacks wiggle, which I'm sure it's the same with a nifty lift or those arborist lifts. The Bill Jacks wiggle is the 6 to 8 foot sway that they get when you're up in them as you're using them. They just have a gnarly sway that goes back and forth. And it's really hard to get used to. It's kind of hard to keep your footing at times. But that's just the way them things work. And I'm sure over time, the longer they get rented, the longer they get used, guys using them to lift weight, which I've seen, probably wallers the pins out, gives even more movement. But yeah, he shows that in the video. I also want to say that I think his mustache helped him get the job done without any issues. There are skills that come with the mustache. So, soon as he grew it, basically went up a level as far as skill. So, but I have to say, stop using the battery saw. I don't like it. I think it sounds like fingernails on a chalkboard to an actual tree guy. I hate the battery-powered saws. I mean, who wants to listen to... By the way, this is my weapon. This one sounds way better than some. But that's... Would you want to listen to that noise? Especially when it starts cutting into the wood? No, I want to hear a chainsaw run. If you're doing chainsaw work, there should be a motor running. So, stop it with the... This was PSA last week. Stop it with the battery stuff. But Zach's cool dude. Check his channel out if you haven't already. He's just an all-around good guy. But, yeah. Next channel. Jeff Schroeder. See how I put a T? Schroeder. So Jeff Schroeder put out a couple videos, I think. I think I may only have one of them down here, though. No, there's two. Okay. So Jeff puts out Last Tree is Always the Toughest. That's a good title. That's he made a title like a man. Singular sentence. Got to the point. Not a bunch of trigger words. So respect on that. To me personally, it's kind of interesting how often, like, a lot of guys on the Pacific Northwest can just fall trees. Especially because the trees are often taller than ones that we would have. At times, twice as tall as some of them that we have. And they still have so much, it's so often that they're just able to fall stuff. I feel like land plots and like lots of land and people's personal property they're just bigger lots because they always seem to have somewhere to fall, or maybe it's just pure luck, but like I never get that many trees just to fall. But yeah, Jeff was getting her done. It was a bunch of like a kind of a land clearing thing where he's clearing all the certain firs out, or so I don't even know. You have to go watch it. He'll explain his reasoning for doing what he's doing. But I want to say shout out to Zappo, because Adam Zappo's back. Adam is the man. He's humble. And you know how many people know Zappo? And you would never see, like, he's as humble as they get, and he doesn't take things too serious. There's tons of people, hundreds of, probably thousands of people that know Zappo. You think that gives him a big head? Nope. That's why he's my kind of, that's the kind of guy I like. Like, a little bit of attention is not going to go to his head. Saying that, I would like to shout out, a guy came over to me just the other day. If you see this video and you came over up in, I think I was in Festus, he just kept like, it was right after my ribs got messed up, so like I was kind of hurting, and I kept looking over, and the guy was kind of frowning like at me a little bit, but he was staring at me, and I was about to be like, dude, what are you looking at? And he says, do you have a YouTube channel? And instantly my face probably got red and I got embarrassed. I'm like, yeah, dude, I do. And he was very nice. I appreciate watching the videos and stuff, dude. Sorry if I was a little rude or, standoffish. Wasn't feeling the best, but thanks for coming over, introducing yourself. It's nice to meet you. I just wasn't probably the most friendly guy at the time, so I want to say that before I go any further. But, so Jeff got Zappo working for him now, which is awesome. So they have to stop at 1 p.m. Jeff tells us in the video, he's like, we have to shut down at 1 p.m. because of the fire season. And they have requirements depending on their region, their county, or their jurisdiction, or municipality, whatever. They have different standards, different times. And apparently that is because like the temperatures raise after 1 o'clock, so the potential for fire is higher. And also the humidity. If you notice when you come out in the morning, there's dew on your car or whatever. That humidity and moisture in the air dissipates so much by 1 p.m. that the air is so much drier. So they have a lot of those areas that are having droughts or whatever. They have them shut down around that time because of that. But I have a question. In this video, Jeff, I think Jeff shuts down. Like, he does what he's supposed to do 100%. But I see other guys that'll use battery saws. And I'm just using my common sense. I don't know what the rules are in those areas. So the way it's portrayed by some guys that I watch is that at 1 p.m. you got to shut down motorized chainsaws, but they can run their battery powered ones and it's okay. I personally don't feel like, unless the people that made the rules like aren't all there, I don't feel like that's correct. Because your chain being loose on your bar, or if you've never seen it throw a spark before, you haven't ran a chainsaw long enough. Just because a saw's battery powered doesn't mean it won't spark at some point. You have metal on metal repeatedly with the chain running around a bar. And I don't know the exact rules, but it would be my guess that you're not allowed to use battery powered after 1 p.m. if you're following the rules. But at the same time, battery powered is so quiet, the likeliness of you getting caught is probably very low. So just know that I'm on the lookout. I'm going to check the rules. I'm going to find out what the rules are in that jurisdiction, and I will be ticketing if I find out that you're trying to hide and use battery powered saws when you're not supposed to. So just know that the proper the proper authority has been contacted, and the wheels are rolling. and we're gonna get this problem, this issue taken care of. So Jeff basically does a pretty badass job falling the trees. Jeff's good at falling trees. He's got it pretty down with their Doug firs and shit that he does them so often. He seems to be pretty proficient at falling trees. But the last tree comes and Jeff makes a smart-ass comment, being funny, but I'm a smart-ass. He says, this tree leans back, but I'm not going to put a rope in it. I'm going to do back cut first. I don't know about that technique. Like, but I mean, Jeff seems to like that technique and thinks it's useful. I've never used it before and have never needed to use it. But, to each their own. Just like the shark gill isn't a technique that everybody's going to use, that same law applies to the back cut first. Just because I don't personally use back cut first doesn't mean it's not a useful technique. So Jeff uses back cut first, and then what you do is you make your back cut. You got a back leaning tree. You back cut first, then you bang in wedges, which straightens the tree up a little bit. Then you come up in front of it and you make your face cut. What you're doing is getting lift because it's the tension's back here. So you're actually getting lift and relieving some of that tension here by making the concept makes sense. I understand in theory what's going on there. So Jeff makes a comment that he's not going to put a rope in it, even though it leans back very hard. And he says Tim from Veterans Tree Service would put a rope in it. But Jeff, he's like, if Tim was here, he'd tell me to put a rope in it. Which he's basically trying to be like, this is like maybe his way of saying anyone who uses a rope is basically a sissy. Because Tim feels that same way about putting a rope in trees. He thinks you can just bang them over with wedges, and that's the way he prefers. I'm different. I prefer to use a rope. There's two different mindsets. Some guys love to bang wedges. I do not. So Jeff makes his comment that, if Tim was here, he'd tell me to put it in a rope. What that is a ha-ha inside joke between him and Tim, where they are like, they're cooler than everyone else because they don't put ropes in trees. They bang them over with wedges. So when you think like that, the most important thing is don't make an ass out of yourself and not be able to accomplish the smart-ass comment that you made beforehand. So if putting a rope in the tree's dumb, why did Jeff have to put a rope in the tree? He tries to use back cut first. He puts his notch. It won't move. The tree will not go. So here's my problem with waiting until, it won't go over with wedges. Now I'll put a rope in it. You're now putting yourself out in the drop zone, setting a rope. You're now setting a rope in a tree that is triggered. It's ready to go. It's unnecessary. It took him probably minutes to put a rope up in this tree and pull that thing over without issue, full command, and as safe as it could be done. Instead, he battled and beat wedges for what looked like probably 20 to 30 minutes. Maybe it wasn't quite that long, but it just seemed like that because it's a refusal to be wrong. Because all them guys, while you're beating wedges, you're like, them guys that use ropes are sissies. They're just sissies. They just can't beat wedges as good as me. No, no, no. That's why I'm not going to make fun of a guy because he likes to use wedges. I'm not going to think I'm better than a guy that uses wedges. I personally can say that I'm not. I say that I'm not a wedge banger guy, and I would rather do ropes because that's where my experience has been. I put ropes in things to ensure success. Too many aspects of the job and the work and the task you got to do, too many parts of it involve extremely dangerous situations that are very risky. So, anytime, this is my main thing and I think about at all times. When I approach anything, can I eliminate any risk? So, climbing a dead tree, I'm afraid something could fall out on my head. I'll put a hard hat on, right? So I'm going to be cutting a bunch of stuff up down by my legs. I got chainsaw pants on. I have weak wrists and estrogen flows through my body. I won't use one hand on a chainsaw, I'll use two. There's rules here. There's rules. And there's different options. But don't get caught with your pants down trying to bang wedges and then have to go walk out in a drop zone to set a rope, because what you've done is waste your time for the sake of I don't know what. Is it for the content? Is it because maybe, I don't know, Jeff also likes building and selling axes. So axes, maybe he wants them to be a big part of what he does. So without banging wedges all the time, an axe doesn't become that important of a tool. They're important, but like, if you're only banging wedges to fall trees, you're going to have an axe that's going to be very, very important to you to bring one at all times. So I get that. And also, you're dealing with different kinds of trees that are often very, like, straight up and down, single stemmed. So it's not like he's falling big, widespread, canopied oak trees all the time. There's a reason you don't see guys banging, over big widespread trees with huge canopies. It's just unnecessary for us. So it could be a regional thing, the wedge thing. But yeah, I left a comment and Jeff won't respond to me. I don't know what happened. I hope Jeff's not offended by anything I say, because I don't say anything mean. And I just this week shouted Jeff out for, like, dude makes a good axe. I still am using his axe all the time. And he's been killing it on YouTube. The channel's growing. He's the man. I think he don't really respond to me anymore, which is a bummer. I feel like maybe I've offended somebody, or maybe he takes offense to the way that I don't agree with everything Bucking. I don't know. We used to get along pretty good. Like, and now I don't know. He doesn't even respond to my comments. I left a comment. I said, well, it looks like Tim would have been right about setting that rope in that last tree. And I put a laughing face. I said, good job. Stay safe. Nothing. Crickets. So, if I've offended anybody, I just want to say you have too many feelings, and I take nothing back. All right. Um. Oh, and I also noticed in his video, his hard head wedge. You have them wedges that have the metal heads on them, and they're plastic wedges. His the metal head is broke off his too. So I just would like to say that those suck, and they cost far too much money to be breaking that easy. So hard head wedges, get your shit together and fix them, or stop charging us so much damn money for them because the heads just break off. Um, yeah, I just have wrote down like that sucks that you gotta go walk out in the drop zone to set the rope now when you got a triggered tree. Um, and it just seemed like it was very quick and simple to set that rope. And you were trying to get done by 1 o'clock because of the fire thing, and that would have saved enough time. But I don't know. I don't know. Like it would have saved some time, and you were in a rush. You times what you needed, but it is what it is. Like I said, some guys love beating wedges. I don't. So maybe a regional thing. Could be because of their trees and their region. I don't. I can't speak for them, and I can't relate to wanting to bang wedges all the time. So that's that. Do I ticket him? Nah. Nah. Um, because I feel like he's mad at me already. I don't want to ticket him. But let's go into his next video. How to fix. He's gonna hate me more now. He's gonna hate me more. So get ready to hate me a little more. How to fix a loose axe head. So he makes a video to show his clients how to fix their axe heads when they get loose. So in the process of fixing that, he kind of beats these little they're wedges is what they are, but they're like little rings, and they help spread the wood out, little cones. And he cracks the wood all up doing this. To each their own. Like I think I did this axe and did very similar, and I've got mine all busted up too. But sometimes you just got to make it work and do whatever. So this is an axe that I got from Greg Brown, going on, I don't know, it's been a long time, maybe 7 years, and it's still, this thing is such an amazing wood splitter, and it's a wedge banger, but like I've used it to split wood and it works so good. I don't even know what kind of axe it actually is. Greg may know. Oh, hang on. I see some lettering. Let me see what this is. Oh, it's an Alco. Okay. Yeah, so it's an Alco. But yeah, awesome axe. The Schroeder axe is out in my truck right now. I've been using it here recently. I just switched them out so I could tighten that head up on that one and get the some use onto the one Jeff sent me. But so Jeff makes the video so he can like point the clientele to this. He says instead of them sending the axe back, because some people they're buying axes apparently and the head's getting loose, so they're shipping them back to Jeff so that Jeff can tighten the head up or rehang it or whatever he does, and then he sends it back, and they have to pay shipping and stuff to do this, so it's costing them more money. So what he's doing is just trying to give them somewhere that they can go and a video to watch, so maybe they could fix their own instead of having to spend money shipping it to him. So it saves him time and effort, so he doesn't have to fix them, and it speeds the time up that they're without an axe and saves them money. So it's a win-win, the video thing. But there's that question that arises: if you pay $300 to $500 for an axe, should you have to do repairs on the regular? I mean, or should you have to pay to have it shipped to the maker to be fixed, or should that be free of charge? I've never, and I'm just being straight up with you, I'm absolutely grateful to no end. Jeff is like awesome. Jeff is the man. He sent me my Dream Axe for free, just to be a good dude. I appreciate him for that. Like, and I'll treasure that tool for the rest of my life. Same way with the axe Greg has made for me and sent to me. Anything Greg's ever done, like sitting right here, is this thing changed me and my rigging forever, which is the GB Baller. So like, there are tools that I've received from people that I would never have. I don't know if I would ever spend $300 to $500 on an axe. I see Buck and Billy Ray's axes. I would never have one because I personally can't afford to just drop $500 or even $300 for an axe. I just can't. I can't do it. I would love to be able to support them like that. I would love to just go climb trees for free if I was rich. Like, and just do everything for free. Help people. But it's just, that's not my reality. I don't have it like that. So I don't think I would ever have been able to use, I know I would never have even used an amazing axe like this if Jeff wasn't nice enough to send it to me, because financially it's not possible for me personally. So I'm grateful that Jeff made that possible for me. But yeah, that question arises, like, how, I'm sure there's differing opinions as far as that goes. Like, no matter what the tool, maybe there's repairs that need to be made. Some of you may think, if I spend that much money, I shouldn't have to have it repaired. Like, let me know. You let me know in the comments. I have no clue. I don't want to give my opinion on that. I mean, I basically just did, but I personally couldn't afford to buy a tool that expensive. That's gonna do a job of hammering or splitting. Like, I don't know. I'm the poor hillbilly that would go buy the Fisker or something, like, or go to a flea market and buy one. Like, that's just me. I can't justify it. So just so many other things in life that it's not possible for me. So that's Jeff. Check Jeff's channel out. I believe Jeff's channel has passed me up. I think he's on his way. Like, he has built his channel. He now has, I think his channel's bigger than mine here already. So Jeff he's on his way. He's doing awesome. Go check his channel out if you haven't. He's a good tree guy, just in general. And if you like axes and like vintage axes, Jeff also does a lot of that. So go check him out. Next channel, August Hunnicky. This is a wild one. So the video is called, how long okay, so I'm gonna skip. Let's see. I'm gonna skip because I don't want to miss out. Dang. Yeah. I'm gonna have to speed this up. Let's do this. I'm sorry. Right. All right. Let's do Veterans Tree Service because this is out of control. So, Veterans Tree Service puts out a video, best tree rigging gear for swinging these huge tree tops. So, starts the video out. The first thing, he's like, I just wanted everybody to know I'm a pussy, and I am afraid to rig these trees whole off of the fir tree. I don't know why he would do that, but that's the first thing he does. He's like, hey, I'm a pussy. I'm afraid. I'm scared. I'm a sissy. And I'm like, that's crazy. Why would you say all that? But he does. This is all allegedly, too. So then he complains about the humidity. So as far as that goes, shut up. Shut up. Okay? Just with the humidity, shut up. You don't know about humidity? Shut up. Then this is out of control. This is defamation at its finest. He's in the middle of climbing his little trees that are like little. They're basically telephone poles with some fur on them. He's climbing up it, and then he goes to retie in and says the most obnoxious, repulsive, disgusting, immoral thing that any person maybe has ever said on YouTube. And says that I taught him how to rainbow anchor. Absolutely not. Absolutely no. We're not doing this. This is not happening. We're not doing this. You do not put my name in a sentence with rainbow anchor. I'm no rainbow. Okay? Hashtag no rainbow. That's me. You, hashtag all rainbow. Okay? Me, no rainbow. He says, Mike, at Steelborn. It's hard for me to even say. I don't even like saying it. Because, first of all, it's not right. And it's like, it's hurtful. He says, Mike taught me this. That's not true. He is a liar. He is not trustworthy. I don't even like this guy now. He's making stuff up. He tries to say, I taught him how to rainbow anchor. And then he starts this way. So he's got a conscience, a little bit of a conscience. Because it starts to hit him. And he realizes what he said is a bald-faced lie. And he's about to get thrown straight in prison for this. There will be repercussions. So he's like, okay, maybe Mike didn't teach me it. But I know he backs it 100%. No. No rainbow. Me. All rainbow. You. Well, you. Okay? This is ridiculous. So there's lies being told. I have been implicated in the Rainbow Anchor saga. This is all false information. This is grounds for instant imprisonment and possible lethal injection. Okay? It's absurd. It's lame. It's weak. It is outright redacted to make up lies about someone else. So I just want to say, Tim is trans. He has a tail and is allegedly on the Epstein list. So that's that. But I need to set the record straight. I'm no rainbow. Okay? No. Okay, so now we've got all that straight. Ask him about his tail. Yeah, ask him about his tail. The guy's got a tail. That's weird. So he says he's West. Oh, okay, yeah. So I've been contacted by Wesper, possibly or allegedly, and they are just between me and them. We're both upset. I'm upset about the rainbow thing. They're mad at you because you took way too long to review their slings. They said they were outright pissed about this. So, Big Dan, is Big Mad. Okay? I think that's that guy's name. But, yeah, they just think you took too long. So they said they just, they just didn't like it. They didn't like it. So I think it's cool that Tim finally got to use some rings. You know, I mean, there's no need to look down on him. He may be a decade behind all the rest of us as far as you know, being up on what's cool, what's new, what's hip. Like maybe he's not the coolest guy, but I mean he's got there. He's, you know, the turtle finishes the race eventually, but I mean the rest of us have already celebrated, went home and had dinner before he, you know. I remember the first time I used rings, and I don't even think I could grow facial hair then, but it was. I remember I had a lot of fun, so it was cool to see him finally get to experience that. Um, so Lil Snatch was actually, I think he was up. This is what I think happened. I think he was upset because of what Tim said. He knew Tim was lying on me. Okay, he knew Tim was telling these lies about me. So he basically locked this, the when Tim was chunking out or roping negative rigging this big log, he purposely locked it up and slammed Tim around, basically because he didn't like the lies he was saying about me, and because just like the ring thing, like, dude, get with the times, be cool, and get a GB bollard. I mean, this is what all the cool kids are doing. I mean, if you want to be cool, get one. I don't know if technically you're cool enough to use one, but you could get one. So yeah, they were using a porter wrap, and it's an inferior tool, and basically sucks. So yeah, get a GB bollard. What else? Yeah, at one point Tim has to like orientate his ropes because he's now got his rope in this fir tree and he's rigging these alder trees over to it, and why he switched to use a pulley is I don't know. I think the rings were like a little too manly for him, and he's like, I like how this thing is smoother, or like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand why. Like he's like, this is prettier. Like it's got a little leaf design on it. It just looks prettier, so he wanted to use a pulley. I don't care that much, um, but I've heard that he wears gloves because he covers up the fact that he actually paints his fingernails. But that's all alleged too. So I don't want to start any rumors. This is just stuff that I've heard. But he has to like reorientate his ropes because a pulley is sucky compared to a ring, and it gets crossed up at times. So yeah, he's got to do all that. I was notified, and there's been like several witnesses that have left statements about his actions during this job when it was to come time to rig these alders over. They said he was reckless, that it's absolutely reckless behavior, rigging these massive tops out over it, and the wood sections and stuff. I received messages from people that were trying to notify me that this guy is out of control. He's gonna, and I'm being dead serious. And you probably know who, but like, it just, some people may, okay, I don't like Tim at all. But some people I think hate this guy. They are so mean to this guy. They just, any success that he gets, they hate it so much. So the fact that he was rigging these big tops over and nothing bad happened made them absolutely just aggravated. Was it reckless what he was doing? Yeah. Was it dangerous what he was doing? Yeah. Do I back it? 100%. I would have rigged them bigger. Like, like I said, he's a sissy. He didn't rig them whole. So just know I would have rigged them whole, and you're a sissy. So Lumber Joe put out a video. It was how to use a stump grinder, Vermeer, blah 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 blah. I don't. You got to tell me what kind. Like a stump grinder's a stump grinder, dude. Whatever. Um, how are you gonna make a how-to video with a rented machine? Do you think you're the guy that should be making this video if it's not even your machine, and you rarely, if ever, use this machine, and you got to rent it to use it? You think you're the guy that should be giving advice on how to use it? Especially when they had to brief you on the machine when they rented it to you? Personally, I don't understand this mentality. Let's rent a machine so we can do a how-to video on how to use it. You're not an expert on it, so why would you be doing a how-to on anything as far as that machine? That's just my 2 cents. Also, I always check comment sections on videos when I watch a video. There were 2 comments in the comment section after a while of this video being up. And just like I stated my opinion on the stump grinding video that Tim made last week, that's why I think about stump grinding videos. Okay? Stop making stump grind. I don't want to see you grind nothing. I don't want to see you grind nothing. So, there's 2 comments. One, he commented on his own video. You don't comment on your own video. What are you doing? I bet you like your own video too. Don't do that either. Dude, I can't. I just can't sometimes. And the second comment was like from a bot or a scammer that's offering to make his videos go viral organically because it's like this dude, this scammer, is so good at reading people. He can see you're so desperate for the attention that you comment on your own video hoping that that'll push it into the algorithm, that somebody instantly commented and liked it. And like, I feel like this dude's got a pretty good read on you, whether he's a bot or just an outright scammer. So he's telling you, I can give you the thing that you're desperate for, which is attention and to go viral. So Lumber Joe or the other skinny dude that is a little bit of a nerd or a dork, I can't remember his name. He's got a different name. I can't remember it right now. But don't, for God's sake, don't fall for that scammer. He's not going to make your video viral, and you're probably going to get your channel hacked. So ignore the bot. The bot's like, I would really like to have a conversation with you, and I hope you would allow me that opportunity. Don't do it, dude. Don't do it. Don't talk to that guy. So, also, Joe, the one that I like, which is the heavier set guy, I relate to him. I feel like he's got some experience. He's just got some country boy to him. Seems like a good old boy, not afraid of hard work. He says that it's okay to stump grind like golf ball size rocks. That it's fine to just grind them up. And I've never heard that one. So next, guilty of treason. So this is important. This is important. So this is earned. The video this week from Guilty of Treason is okay. This is seriously the biggest sycamore I've ever removed. So, first, golf clap for making a good title, because you, like, Guilty of Treason is the one that started doing the 50 titles and everybody else started doing it. Because it's like monkey see, monkey do. I'm gonna like Pete and repeat walking across the bridge. Pete fell off. Who was that? They just repeat what they just seen. Made a good title. Isaac done a lot of the climbing in this video. It was just Isaac and Jacob, and then they have Big Flav, which Aaron is growing on me like a fungus. I like him now. I think he's funny. I don't like how tall, like he's tall. I don't like that he's taller than me. I don't like that. But, and he could get some jeans that are a little looser. But I mean, hey, like, to each their own. But for God's sake, it happened. Isaac is now, he he gets the YouTube channel. It's not Jacob's channel no more. It's Isaac's channel. He did backflip. I'm counting it. I'm counting it. I don't care what everybody else says. It will make Jacob try to say it wasn't. I'm counting it. Jacob's not the sheriff. I'm the sheriff. So I've been waiting for this damn backflip that Randy was supposed to do a year ago. I've been waiting for this backflip. Waiting for this backflip. No one does a backflip. No one even tries to do it. Isaac, while he's up in this sycamore tree, starts flipping like he's in gymnastics class. He's like front flipping and spinning and like, I back this. I like this. I need to see more of this. Isaac is officially the back flipper. Randy's lost. He can't be the back flipper no more. Isaac's the back flipper. He's basically lead foreman on the crew because of this. Everyone else is kind of a sissy. If he was here right now, I would basically, I would award him with this, and I would also give him $1,000 prize money. But he's not here, so I'm gonna keep my money. And like, if I ever see him, I'll give him this. You kind of missed out. You should have been here. But he did it. He did it, and it was sick. It was sick. So there's a lot of shit that happened on the video. It was a big tree. He like partnered up with this guy. There was other, but I mean, all you really truly need to know. It was a good title, and a backflip was done. It was done. Like, an hour and a half long movie, video, whatever you want to call it. What? There was a backflip. Been waiting. No one is like, no one's getting shit done like Isaac. So, Isaac's basically, he wins YouTube this week. He won YouTube. All of YouTube. He won it all. He is the guy now. So, yeah, that happened, and I back it, and Randy, if he wants to be the backflipper, he needs to do a backflip. And then they can backflip back and forth, see who gets the position, but Isaac the lead. He's the man now. He gets to keep Jacob's channel. Jacob needs to just give it to him. Jacob didn't backflip. His feet don't even leave the ground anymore. He just stands around and does stuff like with these little levers. And I do need to say, I may have seen the funniest damn thing. I have not laughed. So this video was sick. Their video for that week, or for this week, the backflip happened. So I'm celebrating. It happened finally. I've been waiting forever for this to happen. I've been wanting the backflip. It's never gonna happen. All of a sudden, backflip. Then there's a front flip, and I'm like, I'm stoked. I'm having like the greatest morning. And then, possibly the funniest thing I've ever seen happens, and Jacob gets his 880 out of the back of the truck and opens the gas lid, and it sprays like, this looked like a, I don't want to say, yeah, that's not a good adjective to use, like, or like, what else sprays in people's face that I could say? But who cares? Like, he opens the cap and it sprays, it was a bomb that just went off of gas. I've never seen a chainsaw have that much pressure inside the tank. Like, I've seen them spray before. This one sprayed like 20 feet in all directions. It was like a legit bomb went off. It was okay. It's not funny if he gets gas in his eyes, okay? But if he gets gas in his mouth, like, you know, on his face, on his clothes, no one like, really gets, it's really funny. It's really funny. Um, and then Aaron was like perfectly pointing the camera at him when it happened. This was all the greatest stuff. This okay, that short, when they chop that up into a short, that's going viral because it's awesome to watch people deal with something crazy. Like that's funny to see it. Just like he didn't know that was gonna happen, and it sprays in his face. Honestly, probably the funniest thing I've seen on YouTube all week. And I watch a lot of comedy stuff, and none of it was as funny as like that was hilarious. I laughed hysterically, and then rewound, and probably watched it like 20 times. So, if you haven't seen that, go see him get sprayed in the face. It's good shit. Um, Dano Treeworks put out a video. Floating Anchor is what the video is called. I just wish Dan would put out more videos. I wish he had somebody like recording him and editing the videos because Dan's like a like he gets the shit done. He's like more concerned with getting it done and doing it right than documenting it so that he can have the credit for the skill that he has. He's more like, I'll just get it done. I don't need people to pat me on the back for being a badass. I know I'm a badass. So I back that 100%. He's an awesome climber, tons of skill, and he's more grounded in reality as opposed to obsessed with social media. So I will say often most of the most dangerous things that I've ever done before in my life, as far as cutting, climbing, all that, a lot of that stuff was never recorded. And that's because during those sketchy, scary, dangerous situations, I refused to record them at times because it would require some bit, even if it's 1% of my focus. I just don't deal with that because of like I need 100. So I get it. I wish there was more stuff from Dano. Rion Rounds put out a video. Tree removal made easy. 3-man crew plus knuckle boom crane. Sorry, I gotta. That's like 2.5 titles, or at best that's 2 titles. No, it was a massive basswood. Damn thing's huge. You know, Rion, basically his channel, he shows how efficient and fast things can be done when you have all the nicest equipment. I can't relate to it, but I'm sure maybe some can. He's got the best of the best when it comes to equipment, and I don't know if there is a more efficient operation than Rion and his group. So go check that out. It's always good and entertaining. Last one, August Hunnicky for this week. It was a clever rigging around city sewer line. Basically, it was some tricky rigging that had to be set up to get this log out of this nasty, stinky ass water. They were methodical and deliberate with all their movements, and the plan went perfect. So, shout out to them. Next video that August put out was from ranchero to rigging. A day in the life of nope. You get 1 title. You don't get 2 titles. You're tubing too hard, man. So stop tubing so hard. You don't need to tube that hard. Get 1 title. You don't get 3. So he says from ranchero to rigging. This is a semicolon. It's not a semicolon. It's a double colon. I don't know. Who knows? And then a day in the life of an arborist with big goals. I don't know. I dig the ranchero. That's straight facts. The ranchero is Netflix. It's not Blockbuster. It's Netflix. So I dig the ranchero. I can relate to like enjoying an old vehicle. It's just It don't need to be the prettiest thing for me to really, really like it. Especially when it comes to like my tools and vehicles and stuff like that. Um, so here's my opinion on rules. Like in this video, he has to take a top out of a maple or out of a oak tree, and it's basically gonna harm the tree long term. And he says that their plan long term is to remove the tree anyway. So he's making such a big wound on the tree that he thinks long term it's gonna kill it. I back that. Now he says some guys will refuse to do stuff like that completely, and if the customer doesn't like do things the way they say, they won't touch it. So here's my opinion on that. If a rule needs to be broken or manipulated for the sake of safety, do it all day. Do it all day. Now, if you're like someone's, they got a tree that's going over their house, it's getting ready, like it's got these leaves, it's getting ready to like potentially break, smash their house, hurt somebody, and they don't want to lose the tree, and you got to cut it at the wrong time of year or something, so you're forced. They want it trimmed. If it's for the sake of safety, and the homeowner is educated on the repercussions for doing what you're doing, or how the outcome could result, then I say do it. Now, I think you should be straight up with them. This maybe isn't the best idea. The potential for this, and this could happen. Let them know that like this is not something you like doing, something that you would recommend doing, but for their safety and the sake of, you will kind of manipulate the rule for that specific situation. Now, what's better? Here's this is one of them things that kind of makes me wonder and think at times. Let's go topping trees. Now, tree guys don't want to top trees, okay? Real tree guys that are educated in it and don't want to top a tree. Now, what's worse? Killing that tree altogether and removing it, or topping that tree, which often is going to introduce rot and long term could and will probably result in the tree dying. What's worse? You give that tree many more years to live. It serves a purpose, whether it be shade, an ornamental feature to that front yard. So many just different things. What is the right thing? Is it better to just kill the tree than it is to hurt the tree? Like, it's that. I don't know, because there's those situations where it's like, say you have a horse breaks his leg. Often they will put an animal down because they feel like it can't live a prosperous life without that limp. So, does that also equate to tree work? Who knows? You tell me. I don't know. All I know is there was a lot of ridiculous activity this week. There is a warrant for Tim as we speak. And, yeah. I don't know what to say. All in all, I'm tired of talking to you. Like, you guys, when I started, you guys were Netflix. Now, I just think you guys are Blockbuster. And I'm over it. I don't want to talk to you guys no more. I didn't talk to you anyway. My chat didn't work this whole time. So this was the greatest. I don't like talking to you guys. I don't want to talk to you guys. I don't even like anybody. So, thanks for giving me your time. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We do this every week. You guys are the best. If I can help you in any way, let me know. Yeah, be safe out there. And try to help out the next guy. It's not always going to benefit you to just talk shit about him, run your mouth about him, or hate him for no reason. Success shouldn't be anything that makes you dislike a person. If it is, you have some insecurities that you need to fix. And you kind of have to look internally to fix those. So, thanks for giving me your time. I appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a safe work week. And if you see Tim, please call dispatch, because that guy, we have to get that guy. He's getting arrested. So.